part of the gaming industry for roughly 20 years now. So I started my career with the likes of Ladbrokes and 32 Red, which is part of Kindred Group now, and I've been involved with various companies in past 20 years. I had also launched a Rummy site called Classic Rummy when I was working for a company in Hyderabad back in 2010. Of recently, I've been appointed as member of Meghalaya Gaming Commission. That is India's first and only gaming commission as of now. And the aim of that commission is basically to regulate gaming and gaming activities within the state of Meghalaya. So I'm still involved with that process, let's say. And overall, I have a very keen interest in the Indian gaming industry, in the Indian gaming market. I've seen the market growing exponentially over the years, and I feel there is a lot of movements that is coming, which I'm gonna discuss in this as part of this discussion. But I think there are a lot of good times ahead, and I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, so there have been lots of things going on actually in India, so related to gaming, because what's happening is we have there's a very strong push from the federal government, which is the central government as we call it in India, towards creating a very vibrant gaming industry, both from a user point of view, but also as a business point of view, as an employment creation point of view. So there is a very strong focus in that, and hence the Ministry of Information and Technology and Electronics, they have basically taken up this matter, and they are discussing with all the stakeholders. I was part of a discussion a few days ago where we interacted with the minister, and there were stakeholders from all across the gaming industry. There were founders of various companies and legal representations and other companies which basically provide services to gaming industry. So we all had an interaction with the minister. We wanted to know what's happening. And so there is a lot of movement that's happening on that side. There is also a separate movement that is happening, which is kind of clear the taxation policy or the taxation requirements of this industry. So there is a separate discussion that is going on there. So that is still ongoing, and both the processes are ongoing. But this is a very healthy development, because it shows that the government of the day is actually interested to come up with ways to minimize the hurdles and minimize the friction points and make it smooth for all the operators, so that this industry can flourish. Absolutely. So I think, see, what's going to happen is so first of all, what the ministry is going to come up as a final guideline is not clear yet, because this is still under discussion. There is a lot of iteration of meetings have taken place. The timeline for submitting feedback has also been extended till, I think, towards 20th of February, I think next month. Earlier it was 25th of Jan. So the ministry given another few weeks for people to go back to the ministry with the ministers with their thoughts. So now, so what I feel is right now there has been no guideline at all. Every company was able to come up with its own rules and own policies, and many of them have followed some of the best industry practices, and they have built their businesses based on that. But many of them have not. So because there was no guideline. Now that I feel that there is gonna be a body, or there's gonna be a guideline from a government recognized body, which is going to prescribe that every company has to follow these few rules and few things. I think it's going to create much more trust in players and in general public, that these companies have to follow these rules. That means they are trustworthy, they can be trusted. There will also, right now, every company have done their own ways of certifying softwares, certifying there is no bot and everything, but there has never been like an independent opportunity there. So I think this guideline will basically prescribe that that there should be a certain independent bodies which should come and audit this company, because money is involved, money is changing hands. So it's very important that the softwares, the processes, the solutions are properly checked and ensured that there is no cheating that is taking place, or there is no anything dubious going on. So I feel in a short run, in a short term, what will happen is that some companies will struggle, because some companies which have not been following this kind of guidelines, they will struggle, and it will be difficult for them to continue with the business. But in the long run, I think we will be able to create a very vibrant and very big gaming industry in India, which will be trusted by the players. And that will be the biggest takeaway from this activity that this ministry is doing. So this is a little bit of a tricky area. And because things are not very clear, I'm not able to give a very definite answer to this. But what I can say is there was a group of ministers, which is a subset of a bigger group which was formed, and it was basically formed just to evaluate and analyze how taxation will be done on online gaming, horse racing, and casino. These were the only three areas that this group of ministers were basically exploring. And I think more or less, from my understanding, this group of ministers, they basically agreed that the taxation will be at 28%. Now that, more or less, if I'm not mistaken, I think generally everybody will agree that is the kind of a feedback that we got as reports that came out from this group of ministers' activities, that 28% will be the taxation. Now, what is not clear, and there have been different views on it, that where that 28% will be applied. Will it be applied at the stake value or at the turnover value? So that these parts are not very clear. So the taxation of 28% is very clear, and that is definitely not. I don't think that's going to change. But where that 28% will be applied, the different state governments have different positions on it. So this group of ministers is headed by the current Chief Minister of Meghalaya, Mr. Honorable Conrad Sangma, and there are finance ministers of various states, including Goa, West Bengal, UP, very other states who are part of this. So there are diverging views on this, on where this 28% will be taxed. So that part is not clear. So I am hoping that in coming months, as we see some kind of a progress from this Ministry of Electronics, where a very big push is coming towards towards creating a guideline for online gaming, I feel in coming months there will also be a very clear definition and a very clear explanation on where taxation will be done, how much taxation will be done, and that will be clear to all, so there will be no ambiguity.